Hi guys, this is Michele, Zaragoza team leader, Central Valley, KW. We have Manteca, Modesto, Lodi, Stockton, Tracy on. So I'm really excited to bring this to you because we had an exciting time. I mean, it was amazing. The shift class that we did a week or so. Has it been a week? A week, yeah, a week today, actually, huh? Can you guys hear me? Yeah, okay,
yes.
Good. Because I've been muted and all this fun stuff. So first of all, Sarah, show your book one more time. Amazing. Yes, everybody's book should be this way. I wish I had mine. This is the brokers here in Fresno. Thank gosh she had it, because I was like, oh my God, I forgot my book. So what I always recommend with the MREA or the shift book, use, if you can, use the same highlighter every single time you read it. So like, let's say I got it in 2011, 2012, my MREA book. So I have one color and I put on the very back the date with that color. And then the second time I read it, or the second time I do the class, it's a different color. And I put the date on the back of the book. So every single time I read it, I know, like, because you know, well, as I do, every time you read a book, you see something else, or read something else. You're like, wish I would have saw that. Dang it, right? So that's just my craziness. I think it's a good idea for me. I use it some to share in it. All right, who enjoyed that? Was that just amazing?
Yes, I did.
Yeah. Okay, I'm gonna read. I really got this was really impactful for me. I believe that your life will be either about your problems or about opportunities. I love that. That was amazing to me. You'll either be running away from something or running towards something. It's your call. To survive a shift, you must first make the mental shift to run towards what you most want and avoid the temptation of running away from what you fear. That just resonates with me on so many levels, not even just with the shift, just in life in general. I just think that one statement or couple sentences was amazing. Did anybody feel that powerful statement, or was it just me?
So did I.
Else get it? Maybe I have too much coffee. I don't know.
Morning, everybody.
Morning.
I want to share that for me, it hit me pretty hard because a part of me, I have to admit it, was considering saying no to the ALC.
Yeah.
Because of fear.
Yeah.
I want to commit.
Fear, right?
And here I am. I said yes, and let's do this.
Yeah. So this group right here is talking about this shift, right? So it's talking about the class that you went to. And so what was your biggest takeaway that day, Myra?
For me, I'm almost finished with this one. Agents.
Go ahead.
Okay, for me was hearing from real agents who have experienced so much, share what they do, what works. It was amazing. The energy there. The speaker, he's incredible. It was funny and smart and everything, and I felt like it was just like a breeze, and we were there for 7 hours.
I know. Yeah, totally. Okay, so we could, thank you so much for sharing. We could go page by page, like the page he talked about, or we can talk about ahas first. Should we do that?
Whatever you want.
No. I'm just here helping, facilitating. This is your offices. I just happen to hang out with y'all. What do you want to do? I mean, I know what I'm going to ask somebody to do by the end of this meeting, but yeah, Chrissy, I'll say your name.
So I think, can you hear me? I just want to make sure.
Yes.
You
I don't
can.
know who
Okay.
that was, but yes.
It's perfect.
All right. Who's going to go first?
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. For myself, it's this. We all went there on a mission. We all went there so that way we can go ahead and help ourselves and guide others along this process. And I did discover, well, I didn't discover, I knew where lead gen solves all problems all the time, every time. And we had the lead gen that was introduced to us, and there was only a couple of us that joined on the following day. So I'm putting it out there. It's like, why are we doing all of this stuff if we're not gonna do what we said we're gonna do?
Mhm. Yep.
Okay, so a lot of the people who are on this group right now don't know what you're talking about, Irma. So tell me what this lead gen thing that you're talking about.
So the lead gen was introduced by James Shaw, where there's an agent in LA through Zoom from 9 to 11, Monday through Friday. You can log in and you prospect. You don't prospect on through Zoom. You just show up, just show your face, and you're on mute. The whole idea is that you're being accountable for showing up. That's what it's all about. Just show up. And so when I did it the other day, I felt good, and I go, oh my God, it's like, I'm not the only one that's just prospecting, and I got to see other people prospecting, even though it's just viewing them. You're not listening to them. It's just viewing. That's just holding you accountable. And I did like 20 calls, and my goal is 22 per day. But I did my 20 calls and I got my appointment. So I felt good. I felt really, really good at the end of the day. So, we sent out the link
Friday
for
or
those on the
Thursday.
ALC. And anybody can join it. It doesn't just ALC.
I actually posted it and I sent it out on Thursday. I'm having Kelly send it out tomorrow morning. Kyle, can you put it in the chat box since you have it, if you don't mind, please?
Michelle, I
so
think
you guys
Kelly
listen.
sent it out already
she
because I
did.
got a text this morning from
Okay,
you.
Okay.
From Twilio, I think, right?
Uh-huh.
A text.
Oh, good. Good. Yeah, that was from me. No. So yeah, thank God I have Kelly because I can't do it all, right? Seriously. But if you could jump on this call, I think that'd be great. Yeah, we're all adults. Yeah, we're all business owners. But sometimes we do need a little accountability. I'm just saying, right? So,
Correct.
yeah. And I mean, we're talking right here. We have a lot of high producers sitting on this Zoom right here. A lot of the 20% people have been in this industry for an awful long time. And we still need that little nudge. We still need that little like, hey, call me out on my stuff. I mean, where's Laura? Was Laura on here? Laura was all about that at the ALC meeting. She's like, call me out on it. If I'm not there in the office, call me out on it. Because we all want to succeed, right? It's either we're going to run towards it or run away from it, right? Or you're going to hear people just jaw it up. Stop jawing it up. Let's just get focused and get it done, right? All right. So go ahead, Chrissy, go.
Oh, I was just going to say one thing I really enjoyed about the shift class was just the perspective that it gave me for the overall market, right? I think a lot of us haven't been in this a long time. I wasn't in it the last time the market shifted. I only know forward movement, right? So it was really nice. And I've always heard through my mentors that in a down market, that's when agents really build their business. The ones who put their heads down, the ones that focus, there's nothing but growth. There's nothing but market share to gain. And if you can cement yourself during a down market, you are like locking your career in. And so it was really nice to see that kind of reiterated in the class when James was showing the graphs about, when the market's high and there's a lot of activity and there's a lot of agents, you're working hard and you're maintaining this market share. And then as soon as those sales drop and those agents can't drop off, if you can just maintain business, like that's your goal. You don't even have to be pushing for growth right now. But if you just maintain your goal, you automatically come out with a stronger business on the other side. And, there's a lot of like doom and gloom right now. And people are constantly saying, how do you do business? And how do you grow right now, and how do you keep going? And it's like, you know what, business, there's never a time in history where no houses sell, right? So it's just a matter of putting the work in to get out there and find the people who do need to buy or sell right now, because they're out there. I mean, I've had really good experiences with my last couple escrows. And, you know, if you focus on that and you focus on what is available to us, then, you know, we're all going to be in really good positions 6 months, 12 months, a year, 2 down the road.
I 100% agree. In the beginning, I was doing loans at 14%. 14%, you guys. I'm not that old. So come on, you know, there's people were buying back. I saw you, Barbara. So people were doing it and buying houses and refinancing at 14%. That's unheard of, but who knows, right? And the thing is, everybody needs a home. Let it be a rental or a home that they can actually write off.
Well, and this wasn't a part of necessarily the shift class, but it's something that I've been talking with some of my mentors about. And, you know, obviously interest rates and, you know, certain aspects of the pandemic really pushed people to focus on real estate. But some of those key drivers for what has pushed the market, those are still there. The lack of building that happened in the last 10 years, that's still a factor. You know, the fact that our largest home buying age bracket is the largest population of that age group in history. Like, those factors are still there, right? We still have a strong economy given, you know, even with inflation, you know, our unemployment rate is really low. Like, there are a lot of really strong factors that have pushed the market forward, and that's going to continue to happen. We don't have enough housing. You know, baby boomers and the oldest generations that were supposed to be passing away and downsizing, they're not doing that as much. People are living longer, right? All of those things are still relevant, even though our interest rates have shifted.
100% agree. I love it. I love it. Anybody have any comments?
I
What
want to
else?
see
Go ahead.
what Chrissy, when she got up there and started going up there and talking with him about, you know, how she pulls those stats for presentations when she's going over to talk to a seller.
Mm-hmm.
That was amazing.
Amazing.
It was
And
so
I,
sweet.
and I,
3 agents from other offices come up and tell me that was the best thing that they learned.
That
Well, how
was
does that make
one
you
of my
feel,
biggest
Chrissy?
takeaways.
So that was pretty fun.
Yeah.
how does that make you feel?
Well, it was great to share. I mean, I loved that. I loved
So
that.
guess what?
Hmm.
I want you to share right now, please.
I know. I'm doing a video with James on Wednesday. So this will be good
Oh my
practice.
God. Okay. That is huge. Oh my gosh. That is so huge. I'm so excited.
Yeah. So the more practice I get, the better. Right.
Okay. Do you want to do it?
Well, I'm on my phone right now, so I'm not going to be able to jump on my computer and necessarily show you guys. But if anybody wants me to sort of walk them through it outside of the call, I can, but I'll just kind of give you some basic ideas of
Yes.
where I pull my data and why I pull it the way that I do. So in our MLS, if you're pulling your traditional comps, right, I would go to a quick search or a custom search, depending on what I needed. I would put in the parameters. And when I'm looking for specific comps, obviously I do a radius search, so I can comp specific to that neighborhood. But I think that is obviously still ideal when you're finding the list price for the property that you're looking at, because you can compare properties. Obviously, they're in the same neighborhood that appraisers are going to be looking at. But I think there's additional data that our sellers need. And so I took kind of a market snapshot of the area. It was Tracy specifically. So if you were doing Modesto, I would pull like Modesto proper. If I was doing, you know, a newer build, I would do maybe North Modesto, right? If there's certain areas of Stockton that are, you know, more like, you would just pull a larger area to do more general market stats. But I found that my clients don't respond well to the graphs and the market trends that I show them. Maybe with market trends, it's maybe days on market that has an impact. But if I'm showing them, you know, data that way, they sort of glaze over. And so I would go to a quick search. I did Tracy proper. I put in the parameters of within about 200 square feet of the size of the home that I was working with. Same, you know, bedroom bath count. This was a 4-bedroom, 2-bath, 2,000 square foot home. And so I pulled the market data for Tracy, And then I broke it down. I just looked at solds, and I broke it down from May 1st to July 1st to see how many properties sold, at what price they were listed at, what their sell price was on average, and then what their average days on market was. And when you pull that up, you can, obviously I weed out any properties that are not relevant. Like if it's a 2-acre property that fits into that parameter, or if it's a, investor special, I take those out. But whatever I'm left with, I click on our, the little box that we have that checks the properties that we want. And then on our bar, on our MLS at the top, there's a stats. It's the very last bar at the top of our comps. And so I pull stats, and it literally gives you a report. I highlight how many homes sold. I highlight days on market. I highlight the, specs, the matching bedroom bath count, the matching lot size, the matching square footage. And then I focus on list price and sold price. And then I do the same search for July 2nd through September 1st, and then September 1st through now. And obviously, as we move further along, I'll adjust those dates by a couple weeks. But I like doing the 8-week sections for kind of this time of year, because it coincides with when our interest rates hiked. And so that first set of data I was able to show them showed the pendings that were not affected by the interest rates. And so it showed that there were, for my specific search, it showed that there were 22 homes sold, and that they were selling over list price in about 11 days. The next 8-week segment, the following 8 weeks, there were still 22, 23 homes sold for that 8 weeks, but they were listing lower and selling at list price, and they had longer days on market. And then we jump forward to the next 8 weeks, and we still had the same, about 24, 26 homes sold. So we're seeing that homes are still selling, but the data's changing. So then those homes in this last 8-week section, which was affected by the last interest rate hike in September, they were listing and selling under list for longer days on market. And so separating the data into those 3 segments gave me an opportunity to explain to my sellers in black and white, this is exactly what is happening to our market every time we see an interest rate hike. So if you were to list your house today, then I use the radius comps and I say, this is what your house would list for. But if you're going to wait 30 days, we're going to see another interest rate hike, and we're going to have a different conversations, because you can see the trajectory of these numbers are going down. We're seeing lower list prices, lower sale prices, and longer days on market. So we're going to see that again if we have this conversation in 30 days. And it just made it really simple and clear for them. And I literally had the 3 different pieces of data to show them. And it was a very easy, clear conversation. It shows you are the professional. It shows you are the expert. And it doesn't even give them any real room to debate what's happening in our market, right? So then whenever you show them the comps for their specific neighborhood, you can say to them, this is what I would suggest you list your price at. How do you feel about that?
That was amazing to hear for the second time. I mean, I cannot wait to hear it while you're on the mega worldwide. I don't know how many people are in that group. You need to share the day and time so we can all be there to support you, Chrissy.
I think I'm just doing a recording with him, and then he can do what he wants with it after that.
Okay, can you find out when it will be shared, I guess, right? So we can all jump on. I'm very proud of you. I know it was nerve-wracking for you to do this. I knew you.
Awful.
If you could have kicked me, I would have let you. Well, I probably wouldn't have let you, but it would have hurt because you were that nervous. I know. I'm so proud of you.
Sitting at a table with Michele again.
Hey, I will always push you out of your comfort zone, doll face.
I appreciate it. I do. I tease about it, and it was a bit torturous, but it didn't kill me, right? And that's how I feel about Legion.
Right. I'm so proud of you. I am so proud of you.
Well,
Thank you so
Chrissy's
much
point-
for sharing. Go ahead,
Yeah.
Patty.
To Chrissy's point, because that is actually part of the shift book. So
Yeah.
I'll reference pages for those of you who have it. So page 58 and 59, it's what Chrissy is saying is your message matters, right? It
Yes.
says the principle of lead generation messaging is that your message must match your market.
Mhm.
She is bringing back to the forefront for like Lisa Aguilera, who else am I seeing? Tammy, folks that have been around for a while. your messaging, all we're doing now is bringing back that messaging of data and numbers and showing that, because back in January through April, was it smart to do that and still give that information yet? Did you need to? Not really, because a home would sell in a matter of minutes the second you put it on the market. Now you have to educate, and you educate through data, right? That's simple to understand, and it has to match what's happening in this market right now. On page 59, it says, your message must match your market to be effective. Messaging is built on proven idea that people will contact you if there is some direct benefit to them. The benefit to them is that their home's going to get sold because you know your data, not just put a sign in the yard and hope it sells. That doesn't happen anymore. We're not in that market. So if you don't know how to do that, you need to learn. It's very simple, you guys. Like Chrissy's saying, it's actually so simple. It's kind of silly. So if you don't know how to do it, like get on MLS, poke around, play with the statistics button. I'm going to give you lots of good information. But my favorite,
there's
okay, I'm going to
also
say my
so many-
favorite before I get off.
Okay, there's so many different videos right there too on the MLS. A lot of people don't know how or that they're there. So definitely, click on them.
Oh, I'm looking for my favorite quote. Hold on. All right, somebody else can talk until I find it.
Well, and I think just real quick to add to that is that data, even though sellers don't want to necessarily hear that values have gone down and that their house is going to sell for less than it did, 6 months ago, it did make them reassured that houses are still selling.
Yes.
We're still seeing them. They don't sell in 7 days. They sell maybe in 36 days, but they still sell. And when somebody's talking to us about selling their home, that is ultimately their goal, right?
Yes.
And so the more information we can provide and the more comfort we can give them for that this will happen as long as we do it correctly.
And it's setting the expectation of like, it's going to be okay. And I'll still give you updates, and be prepared to have your home clean for 30 or more days, not just a weekend.
Right. Absolutely.
Right. My favorite quote out of all this session that just kind of rose and spoke really loud. It's on page 73.
I'm on that page.
It is the one true challenge all real estate agents face, and the number one stumbling block that knocks agents out of the game. Not getting lead generation done day in and day out may suffice in a hot market. That was prior to June, but it will put you out of business in a cold one. I don't think we're in a cold market.
Mic drop.
And yet there's still more competition. Do I believe that our 3,000, so we have 3,000 members, give or take, at the association right now with Central Valley Association. Do I think that number is going to be cut by 30% because people aren't going to want to pay that $600 and whatever bill to re-license and stay in this game? Yeah, I think our membership's going to drop. I think we're going to lose real estate agents because they're not willing to go through that mental fortitude, first of all, right? And then show up and do the activities second.
Yeah. Well, if you go up further, it says that you must adopt the position that until you lead generation is done every day, nothing else should get done. Nothing else should be getting done. I mean, what do they talk about? That's your data bank. Why would you be working on a flyer when you haven't lead gen and made your appointments?
And now more
know.
than ever, create a fortress around your people. So I know Gary Keller, at least, I want to say 3 or 4 years ago, when we had command, how long ago was that, you guys? Like 3 years ago?
3.
Yeah. So he started saying that message, build a fortress, build a moat, protect your people. The word data bank started becoming a thing. Like, if you don't protect your people, guess what? Somebody else is going to talk to them and sound smart, and they're going to leave your little castle, right? And they're going to go and listen to someone else and buy or sell with someone else.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, who else has a takeaway from the other day? Or who else, when he was going through the ship book, I mean, there was so much that he was making us highlight that was just a no-brainer sometimes. Don't you agree that a lot of times we mistake movement for achievement?
Mm-hmm.
Are you, so the people who are going to be successful are the ones who are going to buckle down and double down right now. Okay, you guys, this is a mastermind. This isn't a Michele and Patty and Irma.
I'll make a comment, Michele.
Okay, please.
One of the big takeaways I got was that he said inconsistency gives a lack of predictability, and consistency leads to predictability in your business. So if you're what I took away from that was, if you're only lead genning 3 out of the 5 days a week, if you're only dedicating X amount of time into building your referral partners, loving on the people that are in your life and making sure that they know that you're there to help them buy, sell, and invest. If you're not giving that the dedication that it should, then it's hard for you to keep or grow the business and the money that you're making from it. Inconsistency gives lack of predictability. Consistency leads to predictability. I think you had said before that your database is your salary. I think that was one of the things that you had said before. If you're generally loving on the people that are in your database, you can predict how much business you're going to do. If you're making your calls, if you're making sure that you're touching the people in your life that you're supposed to, that you're doing the job that we're supposed to be doing. And if you're not giving it that love, who knows what's going to happen. He also had mentioned too that comparing numbers to the last 2 years is something that we should be doing because of the inconsistency of the market and how I think he said he pulled a NAR stat that was like houses sold, I guess it's transactions done in 2021 was up like I think 20 or 30%, and then this year we're down like 30 or 35%, but agents that are still doing the job are still making more money this year, and that we shouldn't be comparing our business to what the last 2 years has, and it's to compare your stats and your growth for 2019 when the market wasn't in such a disarray or it wasn't so flexible.
So thank you so much, Adam. So you guys, everybody who's a KW agent, you all get a report. It's the multi-year trend report. It's on mykw.kw. You can compare what you were doing at the same exact time for the last 5 years on this report, maybe even longer. Maybe it goes to 10. I'm not 100% sure, but I know for sure 5, right? And so you guys, I can see all your texts. I'll look at them in just a few minutes. I can see it just keeps on going. Okay, so the thing is, what he said is compare your data to 2019, because we all agree the last 2 years, oh, by the way, it was a shift, just so you guys know, it was another shift in 20 and 2021, right? So thank you, Barb. So what you want to do is pull the trend report up, which Barbara just put the directions in there for us, and you can compare right now to 2019 and see where you're at and see where your gaps are at, right? So you could tell back in the day, so I guess it was 10 years ago, you could always tell when I was off. For me, mine was August, because guess what? That's when my kids went to school. I freaked out a little bit. And so my goal every time I looked at that trend report was, I will be on top of it in August. No way can you look at a trend report and see me, going down on a trend report. So this is an opportunity for you to be really, really digging into your trend report. I know Rolf and Leslie will be doing a class in December on agent financials to support you and your business, not working in the business, your business, right, as a CEO. So make sure you attend that class. Okay. Any other takeaways? What else to do? Okay, Myra, go. You're muted, babe.
Okay, there. I want to refer back to page 28, where he said the basics are never outdated. And something that got to my head deep was that the state of the market is irrelevant to the individual agent, because we are to do the right thing. And he said opportunity shows up in transition. So I'm reading here, the most humbling lesson of a shift is this: we succeed in good times not only because of what we do right, but also in spite of what we do wrong. I love it.
Yeah,
It's
that was
pretty
powerful.
clear, pretty deep, and it's just going back to basics and not being terrified by all the negative information that's out there, that sometimes for a second, you think about it and wonder if it's right or what to expect. But for me, it was huge to hear from experts. If you do the right thing, you're going to succeed regardless of what the market is going to do. Because as you know, for me, I have not experienced a shift in real estate. I experienced it as a homeowner who lost a house and trying to buy another one. That was another shift. But in real estate, this would be my very first one, and it gives me hope, and I'm assured. I feel more confident that as long as I do what I have to, it's not going to affect me.
I think that's great. I think that you are very focused right now, and you're very confident in just the way you're speaking. So if you put it in your calendar, put it in your schedule, and really make yourself, accountable to it, and make sure you have your peers hold you accountable, it will happen. Because whatever activities you do today, it's going to show up 60 to 90 days from now. So we want to make sure we have our.
Yeah, of course. Sorry, go ahead.
No.
Pushing this was a whole idea for me about the ALC invitation to push myself to the uncomfortable and give more, because there is always more. I got sick the second day, and I'm not doing well right now, but I had to connect, and here I am. So there's not an excuse really if you know what you have to do and you focus. And for me, it is a huge opportunity to be a part of this great team of people who encourage one another and share with one another. It's just amazing.
It's beautiful. Together, everyone achieves more, right?
Yes.
So on that note, the number one tactic is get real and get right.
Yeah.
I'll be the first to say that I'm super optimistic, and I can tell you everything's wonderful and happy and good, and change just about any negative situation into, but what's good in that? What is good in that moment? Well, people right now outside of real estate, right? There is kind of a divide. There's a doom and gloom of like, oh, the market shifted. Like I can't sell anything. I can't find people. This is not working, right? That we know we're going to get out. And then there's the rest of us that are like, okay, so what's the message now? So what I also heard, Myra, in what you were saying is that yes, we need to be that voice of hope, and you got to acknowledge what's going on in this market. Yes, the interest rates are high. Yes, that's going to suck momentarily, right? And if the opportunity is, and if you're still there and can stomach that monthly payment with a buy down or not, like the market's going to change over time. Like this is temporary. This is historically, you have to show historically what's happened. And this is a moment in time. And is this still, you're still that advisor, that consultant. Is this still the best time for you based on your financials and the roof over your family's head, right? Because you're going to pay someone. You're either going to pay somebody else's mortgage or you're going to pay your own. So which is it? So get real and get right. Be optimistic. Be that hope for other people, but still be real. Like acknowledge the truth, what they're seeing and what they're hearing. Even with our own agents in the office, I know somebody popped in here the other day and was super doom and gloom about the market. And I'm like, oh, I'm sorry you feel that way. Maybe you should come around a little bit more often.
Patty, he said something that relates to this exactly, and I wrote it down. Be resourcefully realistic.
Yes.
100%.
Kyle, what does that mean to you though? What does that mean? Resourcefully realistic.
Using my resources to continue building my business in this downturn, this changed market, but being realistic in regards to educating my clients and where we're at.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like the realistic of what Chrissy was showing.
Mm-hmm.
That's what we have to show them. I mean,
that's a resource. MLS is a resource, and now you get realistic on how you present it.
And if you wanted to go back all the years, right? I mean, it goes like this.
Mhm.
goes like this.
Yeah.
So as agents, it's either you learn how to ride the wave or get out.
Yep.
Because you don't know
And
how.
that's tough love. That's
that
get
is
real and
tough
get
love.
right. But honestly, like to Irma's point, like we're independent contractors in this lovely company called Keller Williams. And yet they don't show up and make our calls for us. They don't tell you what to do. They're not our boss, right? You are your own boss. So either you're doing a good job and you did a good job for the day, or you didn't. Right? I love met several instructors. They say, at the end of the day, would you rehire yourself the next day or would you fire yourself? I mean, you got to really look in the mirror and get honest about that, because if you do that too many days in a row, you might as well hang up your license and go elsewhere. And for those of you who are new to this, guys, like that sounds tough, but these are tough times. So do it hard, right? Get through it.
It's tough times. However, a lot of us have already gone through it. I know I've gone through it a few times. So whatever you focus on, it expands, right? So buckle down. I mean, so you got to work today. I'm sorry. You need to show up to the office at 9 o'clock and you have to work. Sorry, the phone's not going to be ringing. You need to be calling and making those care calls. If you go in our private Facebook group and like do a search on it and put holiday care call, bam, you got a great script right there. Everybody should be calling their database. Everybody should be. I'm kind of passionate about this, you guys, because I know you guys can succeed. You are succeeding. The numbers are showing it. Lisa is right. Good markets make bad agents. I love that.
You said a lot of things that
Bad markets make great agents. I like that too. I had to click on that. Yes.
He said a lot of things that were kind of interrelated. The market is relevant. Do the right activities, and keeping the right people on the journey with you. Kind of what Myra was saying. We have to. What me and you talked about. We have to eliminate the noise.
Yep.
You
have to eliminate the noise, and you have to be the one to control it. So if you hear people making the noise, I would say, hey, sorry, I'm coming here to work, but if you're going to be the noise, hey, it's not a positive thing to be hanging out with you.
Well, that's like what Patty said, to that person that was being negative in the office the other day. Maybe you should come into the office more.
I would love to have that name and number.
Seriously, I was like, oh, I'm sorry you feel that way. Like maybe you should come in and, school yourself up on how to be a better agent in today's market.
Yeah.
I would love to have
and
that
not just come in to pick up a paycheck. I did say that. Sorry. Not sorry.
No,
not sorry.
Sorry, you're being real, right? Get real. You have to be. You guys, we're all here together.
Yes, and you're my business partners. So if I can't figure something out, I need to know who's figured it out a little bit different or a little bit better, because that's KW, we share, right? So I know who to call.
Don't go backwards, just do the right things and you'll come out ahead. Yes.
Patty, did you go over
Activities? Go ahead, Adam.
I was going to see if Patty went over the quote he put on page, the prelim, page XXX. Did you go over that? The 42%?
Oh, no, go ahead. That was good.
One of the big things that I took away was the last paragraph on page XXX about the success studies of like contacts, seller leads, buyer leads, listing taking. What I highlighted was if you, where's that? What makes that number notable is the past studies have shown an average contact to close ratio of around 24-1. At first blush, 10 additional contacts per transaction may not feel like a lot more, but you must realize this means you have to increase your efforts by a very challenging 42% just to get the same results. If you kept giving the past market 24-1 effort, your business will likely drop off by a hard-hitting 30% or more.
Yeah.
He also touched right after that on how you know if you've had a successful year after a shift, and it's not by the number of GCI or your total the total number of
volume
that you do. It's how many families you've helped and how many transactions you've done or how many people that you've helped. If your number for the amount of people that you've helped has dropped off, then you have not won. Your goal in this crazy market where house sales and the number of deals that are being done is down by 30%. If you have kept your number, if you've kept your number of transactions throughout this year, then you've had a successful year. Because a lot of people, like Patty said, are not going to stick around. The shift happens and people so easily give up on this thing that they chose. They didn't, you know, nobody forced them into taking the test and getting their license and paying for their dues. They made the choice to commit to real estate, whether it's part-time or full-time, and to give that an equal respect of energy. And those who aren't are going to fall off. And so if we keep up with the trends of doing 42% more this next year and keeping the same number of families that we've helped in the last couple of years the same, then we've had a successful shift. That was probably one of my biggest takeaways. A lot of people eat at like the GCI that we make and how much money we've sold in real estate and Masters Club and all these numbers that are based around the total value of homes, where, you know, if I'm helping 3 families and those houses are 250 or 300,000 or whatever, and I've increased the amount of families I've helped, the GC, I mean, the money makes the world go around, but for me, it's a win because I've helped 3 additional families assume the benefits of home ownership and gain those benefits and understand what that looks like. That was a big takeaway that I had was don't focus on the GCI and the money we make, but the families that we've helped and keeping it the same while increasing our efforts.
I think the other thing that he said, it was units sold measures your success.
Yeah.
And he told us to really compare units sold from 2019 to what you're projecting now. Like 2022, no, right? Even 2020, because were we in a, I'm not going to call it an easy market.
But it was
That's
a
a good
different
word.
kind of a shift.
Yeah.
We're constantly.
You showed
going
up
into
and
different shifts.
seriously, you guys know, for those of you who put a sign in the yard, I mean, truly a house sold in an hour, a house sold in minutes, you got offers immediately. So honestly, it was easy. This is why we have an influx of people coming into real estate during those times. And some people still think we're in those times. How do I know that? Because they write offers that way. And I'm like, what are you doing? Stop it. Right. So yeah, be in the market of the moment.
Okay, Karen, I'm going to call on you because you're a newbie, and what was your takeaway? I mean, you've been doing this for about a year and a half. What was your biggest takeaway?
Well, my main takeaway was really on the lead gen piece, being consistent, educating who you're talking to. And then just the consistency piece he talked about, and it says this in the shift book, find out what's not working, then find out what is. How does it go? It's stop doing what's not working, find out what is working, focus on that, and then ramp it up. So all the activities, being kind of scattered, just really focusing in on my database, educating, and the activities that I'm getting traction on. And then also, for people that are just starting to lead gen, just knowing that it's going to take time. Like, you may not be able to get those 20 contacts today, but start with 5, and then within 5 days, really focus on ramping that up and giving yourself a goal to get to that 20 contacts.
Yeah.
I love that he
that was
said
really
that,
good.
Karen. Yeah, Karen, I love that, because really what he's saying, and this goes me speaking in the mirror, if you're not doing even one every single day, you're not going to go from 1 to 100 in a day. You're not going to go from 1 to 20 in a day. Like, start with some consistency, whether it's 1 or 5, like it just needs to be consistent day in and day out.
I love it. I love it. Chrissy, are you still around? I see your square, but I just wanted to ask you a question. So if you're around, pop on, if you don't mind, please. Ashley, Barbara, I'm looking at the people who went. Anybody have another takeaway? Anything that makes them like, okay, this was good?
A couple
I
other
saw
things that
Nicole,
he mentioned regarding social media, and doing more different kind of ideas for social media posts that we can do. A lot of it was super simple stuff. Like, one thing I'm going to start doing is, a post. This is how much money I helped my clients make this year. And then, you know, obviously that's for sellers. And then if you wanted to do one for buyers, you're getting your buyer's offers accepted for under the asking price. This is how much money I've helped my clients save this month.
So, okay, on that note, thank you so much, Kyle. I appreciate that. I do know somebody did get fined, okay?
Oh,
Because they actually put an address and said, I sold this house for over X amount of money, right? Or they actually pointed at that house. Brady called me and he was like, Michele, I'm telling him, and he works for an attorney, right? Brady Rankin. And he's like, tell this person to take that down because someone just got fined. So be very, very careful how you word it. You know, obviously, James is in a different area, different state. So just be very, very careful on how you word it. Or
yeah,
maybe
I wouldn't point it to one direct house. I mean, taking all the sales for that month and saying, this is how much I've helped save my clients
I
this
like
month
that.
and how
I
much
like
I've
that.
made them this month.
I like that. I like that a lot. That was good. So you guys, there is a class. Go ahead, Patty.
Oh, no,
Or-
it's Christy. I was gonna say, I'm still here. I just am having camera problems.
Okay, so Chrissy, Zach just called me or text me, Zach Younger. They're doing a KWRI like lead generation, lead conversation and technology that's going to be on December 13th. So everybody mark that down, December 13th. They're spinning off of Command Con. Is that what it's called? Command Con?
I loved Command.
Okay, so you were like, oh my gosh, Command Con
loved
was
it.
like the best thing since chocolate. So can you share your ahas, please?
So I don't know if everybody is familiar with, I think it's Command My Conversion is what the Facebook group is. I'll double check it and put it on our company Facebook page. But they just did Command Con last week. 10,000 agents in KW signed up for it. There were like 4,000 watching it live. It went from like 9 to 1. I think I sat and worked and watched the entire thing. They had individual agents doing major production, over 15 million in volume a year in parts of the country where you need to sell a lot of houses to hit that. They had mega teams that were selling, hundreds of homes a year, strictly using Command. And each speaker, they have now put it into different segments on Command Your Conversion. So you're able to watch each specific speaker. And they had so many good tips and tricks for how to use the mail campaigns that we have, how to tag your
Are you leaving?
contacts.
Where are you going?
They
Are you coming back today?
That's okay. They had they just had really, really great usable content for us and to show how you can run your business top to bottom on Command. And I started to use Command a couple of years ago and it was clunky and it wasn't responsive and it was frustrating. And I'm now getting back into it again because I think there are so many good opportunities and it's such a valuable platform for us. And they did a comparison chart where it showed sort of what Command can do versus like Follow Up Boss. And I don't even remember all the other ones they listed, but there were about 5 CRM platforms that they listed in. Command is now in line with all of the top CRMs that are used in our industry. So it just was a really, really great opportunity. If you're a newer agent, I would watch the whole thing top to bottom. Even if
Which it is recorded and they sent it out and I can find it and send it out if you want it. So everybody can just text me or email me.
It was wonderful.
Thank
It's
you
on
so
their
much.
page,
Chrissy.
Michele. It's right on their page. It's the first pinned link. It says Miss Command Con, here you go. And he has it right there to go and watch the whole thing
Where is that?
in their group, in their private group.
I just sent you the link to Michele, so you can send it out. On your email.
Just put it. Okay, I'll send it out an email. Okay. You did?
I just
Okay, it hasn't
emailed
come
you.
yet. Oh, you emailed it. Okay. I will send that out to everybody. And I will also send the link out for Command Con. You guys, if I could hold you accountable, please, if I can count on you to go December 13th at 9 o'clock. I don't know which office, it's in the East Bay. We'll make it fun. I'm sure we can all go to dinner afterwards. And it's always the meeting after the meeting because we're all like so excited and can't wait to talk about it, right? So that's all good.
Isn't that the agent profit with Rolf? Isn't that the same day of that class? I feel like that's December 13th.
I don't know.
Yes, it is.
Yeah, so hopefully hopefully that'll be recorded too, right? And that's about an hour, I think, Rolf's and Leslie, I'm not 100% sure. But yeah, we might have to switch that off since KWRI is requesting us. Switch it to another date, I'm not sure. I'll talk about it with.
We have the one
team.
the next day with Shelby Ryburn too.
Right, Shelby's gonna be over in Manteca. Her whole group is gonna be there, I gather, from my understanding. They were texting me. So just, you guys, there's a lot. I know there's a lot. You can pick and choose what's gonna support your business. I will always encourage you to attend. However, you know your business the best.
Is there still a meeting this Thursday? The ALC?
No, we just had it, babe. We talked about it at the ALC meeting when the next one's going to be. It's in December. I sent you a link, invite.
15th.
Yeah. What is it?
December 15th, I think.
Okay, I thought you just said the 13th. I'm like, oh my gosh, this is not working.
No, 50.
Yes. Okay. Anything else you want? Does anybody want to ask questions about anything that they're going through in a transaction that you just want to get some feedback?
One thing I had a question about, because it's been happening to me a lot more lately, with the crazy market, I'm finding not all of them, but some of my transactions, you're kind of having to do like emergency CPR on them to keep them going. Because they're on like the last thread of falling apart. Whether that be the seller or the buyer or inspections, whatever it is, you're working a lot harder to get them to close.
Peaks and valleys. It just happens. Just know that they're all not going to be that way. You just got to get through them. Right, you guys? I mean, it's like, how tough is your skin, Lisa, go ahead.
I should say what I think I've learned about that, because I feel your pain, Kyle. I feel like that's what's happening. And it kind of goes back to the quote I shared. I wasn't at James Shaw. I'm really disappointed I missed it, but I had chosen to go to a 3-day class in Vegas. And it's like 15 different speakers, and I learned so much. And that's where that quote came from. Good markets make bad agents, and bad markets make great agents. As agents, and I admit it, I got lazy because the business was easy. And so it did make me a bad agent, because I forgot the foundational things, and I forgot the importance of sitting down and having those in-depth consultations, because everyone's like, let's get in the car, let's go find a house, let's put an offer in, blah, blah, blah. And so now it really is, from the very first meeting, setting up the expectations and telling them your house is going to be on the market for at least 30 days. Just deal with it now, or you're going to deal with it later and be panicked. Or when you're talking with buyers about inspections, it's, no, you're not going to hurry up and just get this house. Now we're going to be reviewing the reports. We're going to talk through them. How do we negotiate on that? It just really is being proactive versus the bad habit of being reactive, which I am trying to break myself of now, because the market has shifted. And those bad agent traits that I picked up, I'm very aware of those now, and I'm putting those to rest so I can be a great agent. So, I mean, that's how I'm dealing with the ups and downs of the transactions and doing CPR on them. I'm evaluating what could I have done differently versus just, this is how it is.
And what a great visual that would be, Lisa. Like, let me tell you about the CPR we are now doing in today's market, right? Just the stuff that happens over and over. Anytime you can give a visual that tells a story is better than just telling them.
Yeah,
Right?
that's
So that's
great.
awesome.
Good for you, Lisa. That's awesome. I mean, come on, you're one of the top agents in Tracy, and you know where your gaps are now, and you're filling them. So that's awesome. Congratulations.
Thank you. I think it's important. I'm glad that all these people went to shift. I'm learning just from hearing what you guys are sharing. I think it's easy in a market like us, like this, for us to say, I'm not going to invest in my training. Oh, that $50 to go to a business planning clinic, I could use somewhere else. This is not the time to not invest in our training. This is the time to invest in our training, accountability, and coaching.
Most definitely. That was good. Thank you. Thank you very much. I appreciate that.
And put it into action, because you could get really smart and go to a lot of classes.
Can I hop on?
Yes, go
May I
ahead,
say
Michael.
something? I just wanted to say I missed the actual class in Concord, but I can't see who's on this call, but that any newer agents or anyone that has not discovered the Pivot Shift Group Facebook group, you really, it is a daily mastermind, and it keeps you in a positive mindset. And that's what's been keeping me kind of going and getting my day started. Excuse me. Is that every day, James Shaw is my first 20 minutes of the day while I'm getting ready. I'm not on the 5 a.m. I'm trying, but yeah, if just log on when you can, 20 minutes, it's, you get your inspiration, and then you put in the perspiration is what he logs off with every day. And it's pretty amazing.
Thank you so much, Michael. I actually posted that on our private Facebook group, the link this morning, because we were talking about it in bold this morning. So yeah, you guys, I am telling you, you could do a search on that Facebook group. Let's just say, door knocking. You could do a search. I tagged Caroline, I don't know, like 4 or 5 times this morning, just on first-time home buyer seminars, right? And there's, what people are doing for pop buys. There's so much information. And you guys, again, together, everyone achieves more. We're going to learn so much through others. Why reinvent the wheel? If someone's already doing it and they got a system, let's just follow it. What is it called? Rip off and duplicate, right? So yeah, this was powerful. Do you agree?
Yes.
Hello.
Mhm.
Absolutely.
Good. Oh, Audrey, what did you learn while you were there?
You know what? Just touching on what everyone else said. I mean, it was so good. One thing though that I liked that I was really happy to hear was Keller Mortgage coming into some of the offices, which I think will be awesome. I think that will be awesome. A lot of people don't like to do things online. They want to see someone face to face when they're working with them, and I think that would be a plus.
That's a good, yeah. They haven't reached out to me yet. I would have to say I did my refinance with Keller Mortgage. It was so easy and so smooth. The interest rate was like 2 something, it was very, very easy. And being in the tech world, it was so much easier just to do it on my phone and take pictures and send it. And it was just so easy. However, I can't see like my mom doing that. So it'd be great to get somebody in person. So we'll see how that rolls out. So hopefully somebody will be giving me a call. I did chat with a few at the top 1%, the elite over in Hawaii. So hopefully I'll hear back from them. Thank you. Anybody else?
There's a Zoom call Wednesday for the Keller Concierge program. It's not something that would be great to add to your arsenal as you're going out on listing appointments.
I saw something on that. Oh, that's for everybody, right? Not just for leadership. Okay. I'm like, oh my gosh. Okay. So Keller Concierge, I could post that, or do you want to post that, Lisa, in our private Facebook group, please?
Sure. Let me see if I can figure
I
out how to.
I'm like, where was that? Was that an email, text, or what? I don't know. But yeah, please, if you find it. If not, I can search as well and get somebody to find it for me. Who else? Oh, Debbie. I saw you on here, Debbie. I saw Nicole earlier too. Is there anybody else who wants to share? Oh, Debbie's off. Okay. All right. Can somebody also, to get the MREA book or shift book, you need to go to kellerinc.com, or even if Amazon has them too. Just depends how quick you need it. I personally like the tabs. I like the leadership tabs. So yeah. You guys, I appreciate you taking your time. I know it's very hard to jump on these calls, but I also know it's very beneficial for all of us to jump on these calls. I do encourage you to go to the KWRI class, which is coming in December. I also encourage you to fill out the document that the front desk has sent out for our Thanksgiving fees. Log in and click on the tab, please, and sign it. All right, you guys, be the best version of you can be today. Thank you for everything.
Thank you.
Thank you, Michele.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you, everyone.